Delegate Kathy Afzali, Senator David Brinkley, Mr. Robert Koblenz, former Delegate Robin Ficker, Mr. Peter James, Joe Christoforski, and Brandon Rippian. And here we have U.S. Representative Roscoe Bartlett. Welcome. We're just getting started, Congressman. So as I said, we're going to start with three-minute introductions by each of the candidates, and we'll start with Kathy, Delegate Kathy Afzali.
Sorry, I'm going to take this off here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
If you can figure out how to take it off,
I will.
you're quite welcome to.
I like to be able to see people when I'm talking. So good evening, everyone. I'm Delegate Kathy Afzali. I'm a candidate for Congress. As you probably figured out, I want to thank you for coming tonight. You are very good citizens for coming out to vet your Republican candidates for Congress. I know that it's a very important job that you have to make a very informed vote, and I respect each and every one of you for coming out tonight. I am, as Mr. Lazarus mentioned, I am a Maryland State Delegate. I represent Frederick County. I am also a businesswoman, and I am a mom. And the reason I got into this crazy business of running for office was because I'm a mom and I am afraid for my daughters. I am truly afraid for their future. And each of my daughters, before they've even finished high school, is going to have nearly $50,000 of their share of the national debt to pay. And I don't know about you, but that concerns me terribly. So, my to-do list when I get to Washington: lower the debt ceiling, secure the borders, repeal Obamacare, pass a constitutional amendment that Congress should obey the same laws that you and I have to obey, energy independence, repeal the onerous regulations that stalls growth and stalls businesses from competing globally, reduce the spending, term limits, and fix I-270. And I'd like to do that all before lunch, my first day on the job. So, how to get this done? Well, I can't get this done unless I get there, and I need you for that. It's going to be a very competitive race. This district was drawn specifically so the current congressman would lose. It's going to take someone who's very tenacious, who's a tough campaigner. I proved in Frederick County that I am the toughest campaigner around. There is nobody that works harder than I do. I knocked on over 5,000 doors when I ran for delegate, and I'll probably do 10,000 if I am so honored to be your nominee for Congress. And I just believe firmly that our country needs change. It's going to start hopefully at the top with a new president. And I want to be there to help that new conservative president turn this country around and make that future for my daughters that I know is possible for this great nation. And I thank you.
Congressman Bartlett, you have 3 minutes to introduce yourself, and Dick in the front row will give you a 30-second warning.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much for coming out, and those responsible for this event, thank you for putting it on. As far as I know, every law that applies to anybody applies to us in Congress. That may not have been true before Newt Gingrich, but we, I think, fixed that. I have exactly the same health care. If you have a Blue Cross Blue Shield federal worker, I have your health care. I have your retirement. I don't think there's anything in Congress different. Even the president doesn't know that. He said he wants to give everybody the same health care Congress has. Every federal employee has the same health care Congress has, thank you. I have the same Blue Cross Blue Shield that you have if you're a federal employee. Well, who is Roscoe Bartlett? I was born in 1926. I'm the first member of my family to graduate from college. I went on to get a master's and a doctorate. I worked as a basic scientist. I have probably 50 papers in the basic science literature. I then moved over into the engineering world. I've been awarded 20 patents. 19 of those are military patents. I've worked 20 years for our military. I've taught for 24 years. For those teaching medical school, I taught postgraduate medicine at the School of Aviation Medicine in Pensacola, Florida, for the last 12 years before I retired. I taught nursing students anatomy and physiology at our community college in Frederick, Maryland. I ran for the Congress when I was 65 years old. I was 66 when I was elected because I had now 10 kids and not that many grandkids then, but the number of grandkids today, 17 grandkids, shortly 18, and 2 great-grandkids. And I was just concerned that they were not going to have the opportunities I had to work and achieve because this country is changing. We have a government that is way too big. We tax too much. We spend way too much. We have too many regulations. So I run again for the same reasons I ran 20 years ago. It's for my kids, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids. I was very pleased today to receive the endorsement of the Gazette, and I'm honored by that. Thank you very much. I would be, I've worked very hard for 20 years now to represent and to serve. I see our office as an office of servants. You come to my office, my desk. I do not sit behind my desk. I do not sit at the head of the table. And if you have not had an opportunity, you will have an opportunity to come to our office for constituent service. You will see that we understand that we are your servants. Again, thank you very much for the opportunity to come here this evening. I hope to get better acquainted. We now have 357,000, I think, new constituents in Montgomery County. I welcome every opportunity I have to get in front of you to get acquainted. Thank you so very much.
You can use the mics going in. Yeah, that might be easier. There you go.
Just trying to be kind to everybody's ears here. Good evening. My name is David Brinkley, and I appreciate everybody showing up to meet us and for us to have the opportunity to meet you, and I certainly appreciate the group, sponsoring tonight's event, and it's great to have everybody that's interested in the seat here too. I would be honored to serve you in Congress. Right now, I'm 52 years old. I have 2 children. I have a daughter that's a sophomore in college and a high school-age son. I live on a small farm in Newmarket. I was born and raised there. I was born and raised in the 6th District until it was carved up the way that it currently looks like. And yes, I do live outside the district. I live outside by 4 miles. I have a small business. I do financial planning. To that end, I do specifically retirement and estate planning for people. I've been doing that for 31 years. And we have an office here in Gaithersburg, and I also have an office in my home. I've had the honor to represent the people from Frederick and Carroll County in the state Senate. I'm in my 3rd year, and I had served as the minority whip, and I had served as the minority leader in the state Senate. And to that end, some of the key issues that I think we bring to the table, some of us bring to the table, is that we actually have a legislative history. Because yes, all of us up here are asking for the opportunity and the honor to represent you. And so to that end, I encourage you to look up our legislative history. I'm in my 3rd term in the Senate, as I mentioned. I serve on the Budget and Tax Committee. And to that end, it's one thing to criticize what's going on in Annapolis, and that's very easy to do. It's something totally different to offer a viable solution. And this year, for the 3rd year, Senator Pipkin and I had offered alternative budgets to this governor's proposals, proving that we can balance the books without raising taxes. To that end, when we had special session this past year, I fought very, very hard to keep this community intact and not to split Western Maryland for partisan purposes. That's exactly why this was done. It was done to give Senator Graggiola the leg up. And yes, he has advocated for every gas tax increase, every income tax increase, every sales tax increase, everything he possibly could advocate for. He's moved forward on that until this year. And it's actually been kind of interesting to needle him a little bit because he and I do serve in the Senate with, wow, you've gotten religion. I'm glad to see you back off the income tax increase. So anyway, I'm certainly asking for your support to that end. We have, there's an organization that I would suggest that you look up. It's called Maryland Business for Responsive Government, MBRG.org. MBRG rates all legislators, be they Democrat or Republican, on their business voting record. And business to me equates to jobs, private sector jobs. And I'm very pleased to have the 3rd highest rating in the Senate. And the longer you are in there, generally sometimes they come down, newer people might end up with a higher score. but I've been honored because of my consistent record. You have to have at least 4 years of voting record to earn their John Shaw Award, and I have that honor. My time is up. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I'm here to ask for your vote tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you. My name is Robert Koblenz. Thank you to the District 15 Legislative Committee and the various Women's Republican Club and all of you for coming here tonight. We certainly appreciate it. I believe Christine mentioned in her opening remarks is that we want to increase the Republican base, and if there's any election that's important, it's this one. If you thought 2008 was important, 2012 it exemplifies the importance of what election can be. If you think Martin O'Malley's second term is horrible, wait until Barack Obama gets his second term. So it's important that we stay engaged and involved, and that's why I'm running. I live in Washington County. I was actually born and raised in Frederick County. I grew up in Middletown, kind of migrated around the county. My parents divorced when I was about 8 years old. Grew up with my mom and my 2 older brothers. Graduated from Walkersville High School. Went to Salisbury University here on the Eastern Shore. Graduated with cum laude honors in management information systems. I'm a project manager / senior systems analyst for an online university. Pretty heavy in technology. What got me involved really was the 2008 election. I was an independent at the time, and through that process, it became crystal clear to me where my principles and values were on the political spectrum. What Barack Obama's, what he was saying, I was paying close attention as much as I could at the time. It just didn't jive to me. It didn't feel American. So we all know today where he's taking our countries. He did say he's transforming it, and that's what he's doing. He's being very successful at it. I understand that everybody wants what's best for the next generation. Over the past 20 years, and I really do like Congressman Bartlett, but he's increased the debt limit 5 times. And the first time he increased the debt limit was $5.9 trillion. Today we're over $15 trillion in debt. It's called a limit for a reason. We need to lower the limit and cut spending. And I think it's going to take someone that's not a career politician, who doesn't care about being popular, to get in there and stand on principle and do what's right for America. I'm not going there for me. I believe in term limits. I signed a pledge to serve no more than 3 House terms. I will not seek Senate or any other office after that. I'm just doing in there, I just want to be elected so I can get in there and serve the taxpayer, because the taxpayer has been shafted over the past several years. Thank you. My platform, energy independence, I think it's a national security risk. Reform the tax code. I'm looking for a flat or fair tax, only 1%. Well, you hear about the 1%ers, but only 47% pay, that don't pay taxes. Only 53% pay taxes. So I'd like to broaden the tax base. And I know I'm running out of time. My website is standwithrobert.com. Thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, children, Republicans of all ages, we're going to win in 2012. And we want a Montgomery County congressman for Montgomery County. Montgomery County is half of the 6th district. I was born here, lived here over 60 years. I'm running against 3 Frederick County legislators, 2 of whom don't even live in the congressional district. And another gentleman lives in Baltimore County. We want a Montgomery County congressman that's grown up here and knows the sophistication of Montgomery County, representing you folks. Look what happened in 2008. All the elected officials came out against the Ficker Amendment to limit property taxes. So did the Washington Post and the Gazette, who has as their main goal electing Democrats. They all came out against